Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning into the channel. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to go to some pull and pays, or pick and pays? Pull and pays? Pull and picks? Pick and pulls? Whatever the hell they are. Salvage yards. And try to find us another another drive shaft for a Turbo 350. So, we're going to go do that. We'll grab some lunch and stuff like that. But, I'm also going to take my tires and get them done, get that one mounted. I'm not going to fight it. It was way too hot yesterday. I don't feel like doing it. So, you know, nothing better than playing hooky on a Friday to go get some parts for the race truck. Ready to get this baby back on the road. These freaking... Got to finish wiring up headlights, small things like that. But, anyways, we get tires done, drive shaft done. I can go get the stuff for the rest of the 4-link and get that knocked out. I mean, honestly, it's looking like probably, I don't know, maybe Sunday, take it out for a trip, hoping. So, we're going to try to bang out as much as we can get done today, and, just take you along for the ride. I'm trying a different camera. This is the Dragon Touch, the Vision 3, so I normally film on the Cross Tour, but I don't like the way the mic sounds. So we're going to try this one out, and if this one just sounds like crap too, then I'm just going to have to start yelling, I guess. So that's the only other solution. But anywho, just wanted y'all to see that part, so we'll get to the rest of it. Y'all have a great one. Alright, so we just got back. We went to, I think, 4 different pull and pays, and none of them had a drive shaft that came out of a Turbo 350. So most of them, whenever you ask, their systems aren't smart enough to like dictate like what it came out of or whatever. So there is a lot of Vortec 350s and stuff on there, which is good because that's my other motor I want to try out after this one. So at least we have a little bit of a grasp on some of the parts I'm able to get. I did get tires mounted, so we're going to snub those up real quick, and then probably going to take this strut off, get rid of all this stuff that I put on there. So whenever we get all this gone, and then we'll let it set down on its own, look at the rake, see how everything's looking. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. So we'll get these tires mounted up real quick and go from there. I'm already sweating like crazy. It is hot. So when I was at the tire shop, I only had them put 15 pounds of air in the tires. So it did bubble up a little bit, but you know what's crazy? Other than the fact that they're tiny, all in all, they don't look bad. I mean, ride height's still good. This tire's really low. Maybe put some more air in them, get a little bit more ride height, but I'm actually still pretty impressed. So it has a pretty general, you know, nice little rake towards it. Hey, sorry if the audio is just completely jacked. So I've taken the drive shaft off, measured, I got my wire in my bag for whenever we go back for the diameter, so I can try to find another one. We did find like a split bumper Camaro, and it did have a drive shaft in it, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm pretty sure these are the same. So we'll probably go back up there Monday and grab it. That would be good. That way I can finish that. So I think I'm going to start working on getting the battery box done and getting the gas tank mounted, because those are 2 things I can do Also, I'm gonna have to pull my seats on the inside of here, and might even get the tack wired in for today. So we'll have to pull the seats because I'm gonna move. Here's all my switches for. Here's the fan. There's the distributor, and then there's the push button start. So I'm gonna get all these moved and get them moved down here with everything else. So they'll be there. I'll have all my gauges there. I'll have my tack in the dash, shifter, seats, and I'm only gonna keep these seats until I get the money to get the bucket racing seats that I want, and then that'll be done because I have to cage everything. I have to box all that in. Alright, I've kind of been tinkering with a lot of things, so the first thing I have to do is get this out of the way. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pull the seats out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and redo all the wiring for this and get it moved to where it needs to be on the deal. Woo! Look at that right there. That's right, 350 cubic inches of American power. Stuffed off in the throat of a Japanese mini truck. This is for all the people that said that they didn't believe me. Look, Mitsubishi mini cab, same piece of shit, same old truck, right? You've seen it 4,700 times only from this view. You ain't never seen a small block Chevy. That's what they look like right there. Got choke cable hooked up, see right there. Got the breather on there, got the fuel line, or actually that's vacuum for the brake booster. Got throttle cable. She's all sandy and dandy. You're fucking, that's your big old alternator. You even got it wired in for one wire, self-excited. Does its thing. Anyway, so here's all my switches, right? So there's distributor, there's the fan, there's the old clicky clicky, it makes her go vroom vroom vroom. Anywho, what we're gonna do is one by one undo these wires, take them out of the dash, take them out from underneath there, underneath the truck, back over here, all the way around. That way we can get the battery hooked back up, because now we got the fuel line ran, which I do. So this one I believe is the in or the out. It really it don't matter really. So anyways, one of these are dripping fuel, and we're going to get that addressed before we put fuel back in the system. And also, while I got this off, and my fuel line right here, that goes right there. I'm going to go ahead and change out the fuel filter. I have another one of them. So change out fuel filter. Gonna do all that, and we're gonna get all this back primed up. So really the only thing I had to cut, I honestly didn't have to cut it. Well, I did have to cut this, but I didn't have to cut this much of it to get this to fit. So, because there's just enough room for the distributor to clear the back of it. And then I did cut this more than I wanted to, but it's all good. Alright, let's run these babies back out one at a time.
Party
Alright, so we've been working on a little bit of the wiring here. I've literally just been trying to find wires that are inside the factory harness and then do the things I need them to do. Luckily, since everything's in El Japaneso, you just gotta wing it. So far what I figured out is this little wire coming off the positive here, I have it ran to the distributor. This is a constant 12 volt. This wire here I have connected and ran back to the battery over here. I don't remember what I wired that one up to. I don't have the fan ran, but what I do have is oh, see? Talked all that crap. Here we go. Everything's still loose. Hold yourself. Brace for impact. Also, I gotta let it run that stuff out of fuel because, there we go, it's out of fuel again. But everything works off the key. So all the switches and stuff I had right there I don't need anymore, and then now I can run one for, actually if I want the fan to run all the time, I have another one out here that's 12 volt constant. I'll try that out, and then everything will be ran through fuses. So looky there, we're getting even better. So I'm going to chase down another 12 volt constant, hook the fan up, hook the ground up just directly to the battery, and then I'm going to run one more ground straight to, run a ground straight to the frame, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I've pulled wire off of, which is actually the loom off of the negative side. Somehow this one has 12 volt power positive coming off of it, so there's that. And now we got the old fan hookered up, blowing up some nice and good heat. There's that. So fan's hooked up. I've tried my best to put off doing the wiring because it's one of the things that's so tedious and it drives you freaking banana sandwich until you get into it, and as soon as you get into it and you start getting progress done, you know, it makes you feel pretty good. So, but everything's on pretty good gauge wire. That's one of the biggest wires on the deal. This is a good size wire. This one runs to the alternator. This one runs off a pretty good wire. That one goes straight to the distributor. I still have to do this side for the tack. Right here is probably my absolute favorite part of the truck. Literally, the owner's manual is in Japanese. With no clue what any of this says, but it's so freaking cool. Look at that. Not like any of it matters anyway. It's a damn little motor that was in here, ain't in here anyways, but actual Japanese owner's manual. These things go for like 200 bucks online. I don't understand why. Nobody can read what the hell it says. But, and if you can find one in English, it's worth like 600 bucks. But this was one of my favorite things that came with the truck. Right up bears. Then you got your all-time favorite, freaking road flare. We'll get a wire in for the voltmeter. We'll get that baby dropped in. We'll get the oil pressure hooked back up. We'll get this baby hooked back up. Might even get all those ran to where they have illuminations whenever, because this little wire right here turns on with the 12 volt. So we got a couple more wires that we can use to run things like the things I've put in. Alright, so we're going to give a quick summary and wrap everything up where we're at. So, battery box is not tied down, unfortunately. The truck still looks like a mess, but we're here. So, the fan's hooked up. Got the ground to the motor, a hot wire to the starter, wire to the alternator, wire to the fan. Well, actually the wire to the fan's off the deal. We have the wire that feeds the ignition on the key. We have the wire that goes to the alternator. This one goes to the voltmeter in there. This one here is the looms. We'll get that one stuck in there real quick. We can show off all of our handy dandy work. I just gotta crimp that one. Alright, so see that one's in there. So here we go. We turn the key, 1 click, nothing, 2 clicks. All that comes on. We're all lit up. We have the self exciter on the starter, or on the alternator. Cable running back. Might actually get this baby mounted down a little better while we got everything out and free. Alright, our fan didn't kick on for some reason. There we go. So, the fan will run constant. There's that. The only other thing that we will hook up is we'll run one for these lights, the power, which here's the hookup for them. So we'll bring a power down for it, and then we'll hook up these for the daytime running lights. But we'll just give you a little blinker show real quick, show you what them babies look like. Still have a little bit of wiring to mess with to get this one to blink slow. I can show you the back of it real quick too. So there we go. We got the left side. It has the sequential or whatever they're called, sequencing. So that one blinks a little quick. You can see it working in there. And you got the right side. See, this one goes all the way. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, is what is the big difference there. So once again, I'm always messing with something to do with wiring. So the crappy part. I wish I could get the headlights and all that to work, which all comes off of that fuse block, and I know that fuse is blown. So but for right now, that's where we're at. I feel like I made a lot of progress today. Unfortunately, lately it's just been more mental than anything. Like, I haven't done nearly as much as I should be doing. So, but I'm gonna get in here, eat a little bit of food, edit some of these videos, post them. So, thank y'all guys. If you watched this far, tell me what you think the best part of this truck is. Me personally, I love the headlights. They were like $45. They're not bad at all. So, I like them. But, y'all have a good one.